Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel, as always. As I have been updating you regularly of what's been going on in the media and all that in relation to Ander Herrera. Obviously, early on today, I give you the news on Paul Pogba as well. So the big breaking news now is coming out about Ander Herrera. Obviously, we know that PSG have expressed an interest in Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But reportedly, Arsenal are ready to hijack PSG's move for Ander Herrera. So reportedly, Arsenal have entered the race for Ander Herrera, and they are interested in getting Ander Herrera, of course, at Arsenal, because obviously Arsenal are planning for an investment this summer, of course. Obviously, Emery, it's only his first season as Arsenal manager, of course, and he's still in the process of rebuilding the Arsenal team, of course, as well. And he has had a really good season, Emery. He's got a pretty good, decent pedigree as well. But obviously, he's planning for investment this summer, is Emery as well. Obviously, defensively, Arsenal have got to address their defensive deficiencies, so obviously they do need a defender, but reportedly they have showed an interest in Ander Herrera as well. So potentially Arsenal do know that obviously Aaron Ramsey is obviously leaving Arsenal Football Club this summer. He's joining Juventus. He's going to get around £400,000 a week, so he's set to become the highest British paid player, and obviously he's going to be the second highest paid player alongside Cristiano Ronaldo in the Juventus team. And he's been a very good servant for Arsenal. This is what his 11th season now at Arsenal, and he's been a long servant for Arsenal. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions, scored 60 odd goals as well as Aaron Ramsey, and he's been a very good servant. He has scored about 60 odd goals in all competitions. Very good box midfielder indeed, but he's still playing very well for Arsenal, even though he knows he's leaving in the summer. I think it's a 4-year contract he's signing with Juventus as well, so potentially maybe they do want a replacement for Aaron Ramsey, and obviously they have targeted Ander Herrera of course as well, but we do know that PSG are also interested in Ander Herrera as well. So recent reports have said that Ander Herrera has admitted that PSG's transfer interest is logical. Ander Herrera's future is up in the air, of course. I think he's unsure about his current future, Ander Herrera. Manchester United, of course, have been in the process of trying to get him to sign a new contract, of course, as well. But so far in the process, we have not succeeded, and Arsenal are planning to get him on a free transfer when his contract comes to an end this summer. So I think he's got 3 months left of his current deal as Ander Herrera. So reportedly he could be on his way out of Manchester United this summer. Recent reports did reveal that he was happy at Manchester United. He wants to stay at Manchester United, and he's keen on signing a contract extension is Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But he's classified PSG's transfer of interest as logical, of course, as well. So could Ander Herrera be possibly out? Some media reports are speculating that reportedly he was close to to joining Paris Saint-Germain, of course, as well. But from PSG's perspective, they're looking for someone to partner alongside Marco Verratti, and they've identified Ander Herrera as a potential player, to be a good partnership, alongside Marco Verratti in their midfield, because obviously PSG are going to be losing probably Adrien Rabiot this summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually told Ed Woodward, that he wants, basically Adrien Rabiot, and there has been a few teams interested in Adrien Rabiot, of course, as well. So PSG have identified Herrera as a good replacement also for Adrien Rabiot. Adrien Rabiot's still very young, of course. He spent the majority of his career, with Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously broke into the PSG first team in 2012, and obviously he's won about 16 major honours, but obviously he's refused to sign a new contract. Obviously PSG have withdrawn him from their squad, of course, as well. But he comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season. Barcelona have been long admirers of the player, and Barcelona have actually been the favourites, to land, Adrien Rabiot, of course, as well. But obviously Barcelona have got a host of midfielders. Barcelona got Frankie de Jong last summer, so it's for £65 million from Ajax. So it's a year in advance, of course, as well, because he's going to be officially playing for Barcelona in the new season, even though Barcelona agreed the deal last summer with Ajax, of course, as well, for Frankie de Jong. So reportedly, it did say PSG were willing to offer Ander Herrera around £150,000 a week in wages, also to a 3-year deal, of course, as well. But Ander Herrera's future is still up in the air. But reportedly, Arsenal are reportedly now interested. I don't think Manchester United would be keen on selling, to an arch rival in the Premier League, of course. But Herrera's been very consistent as a Manchester United player, as we all know. This is his 5th season now at Manchester United, of course, as well. I think he's made about nearly 200 appearances, or something like that. And he has during his Manchester United tenure, Ander Herrera has had rough patches. To be quite honest, when Jose Mourinho was here, of course, Ander Herrera was struggling. He was struggling to get game time under his belt. But since Solskjaer's come in, Ander Herrera has revived fantastically well. His form's been rejuvenated, and he's been fitted in that midfield trio very well. And he's been, breaking up the play very well, of course, as Ander Herrera. And he's been playing really well as Herrera. Just recovered from a hamstring injury, of course, as well. And he's an essential player to Manchester United. But I think Solskjaer is keen on adding depth in our midfield, and I think he's keen on recommending an attacking midfielder to come in the summer, because I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has demanded, he's told the board that he wants around 4 signings this summer. As I did say, it would be ideal, you know, for Manchester United maybe to get some young players, you know, that could grow, develop, and mould under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because we have got quite a lot of experienced players, and they do seem to be causing us the problems as well. But Ander Herrera reportedly, you know, could leave Manchester United on the free this summer, but hopefully in the process, you know, we can convince him to sign a new contract with Manchester United as well, and he does deserve it, you know, based on his fantastic performance, of course. And we know mainly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's midfield trio has been Herrera, first choice midfield trio has been Herrera, Matic, and Paul Pogba. But obviously in most recent weeks, you know, he's obviously had to rotate a little bit, you know, considering the injuries we've had, of course, as well. So it has allowed opportunities for the likes of Andres Pereira and Andres Pereira and Scott McTominay, where he has given opportunities, you know, to the fringe players as well. And to be fair, you know, they have been impressive. But now players are starting to come back from injury, you know, which is very, very good indeed. But PSG have expressed an interest in Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But I think his future's up in the air at the moment. As I said, so reports revealed about, was it last week, sometime, that Herrera, you know, reportedly has expressed interest, you know, from Paris Saint-Germain, but it's classified as logical. But I think his future is up in the air with Manchester United. But reportedly now, Arsenal are set to rival PSG for Ander Herrera. So reportedly now, Arsenal have showed an interest in Ander Herrera, of course, as well. As I have been updating you as well in relation to Paul Pogba, as I give you an update today, as I said, reports are now coming out from the Spanish, reports are coming out from Spain saying that reportedly it has been revealed that he's made a decision over his Manchester United future, and I think Paul Pogba wants to leave Manchester United this summer because I think he's keen on a new challenge, is Paul Pogba, and I think he wants to play to the highest level, even though we've been getting the best out of Paul Pogba under this three months or so under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Reports do currently mention that Real Madrid are the favourites to get Paul Pogba. It also said Juventus are interested. It also said that Barcelona are interested in Paul Pogba as well. But we've seen the best of Paul Pogba in this three month or so period, you know, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's been getting the freedom to express himself. He's been playing really, really well. He's been providing good service to the front men. He's been playing in delicate passes, and he's been playing really, really well as Paul Pogba. And when he's playing in that kind of vein, he's a player that can be on at least 14 to 15 goals a season, of course, as well. Of course, reports have been coming out saying that his agent, you know, Raiola, who represents him, you know, is obviously working on, you know, finding Paul Pogba a new club, of course, as well. Because obviously, you know, Paul Pogba's recent comments, you know, have actually suggested out he's not planning, you know, to you know, play out the rest of his playing career in England, of course, well, because he has said in relation to Real Madrid, you know, he's basically said in relation to Real Madrid, you know, he's said they're a dream club. This is what he's basically said. So he's classified Real Madrid as a dream club. This is what Paul Pogba said. He said he admits playing for Zinedine Zidane at Real Madrid, you know, would be a dream and all this. And he's basically said, you know, Real Madrid is one of the biggest clubs in the world as well. And he basically, you know, he does basically, I think he's interested in making the move to Real Madrid, even though recent reports did say he insists he's happy at Manchester United, you know, for the time being, of course, as well. But it's also said there has been talks that, you know, the event you could, you know, make a return back to Italy. So maybe his agent Raiola is, you know, try to find him a new club, maybe going to Spain or, you know, going back to Italy, of course, because he did have 4 great years with Juventus back in Italy as well. He had 4 great years with Juventus. Did Paul Pogba? Obviously, he's our most expensive sign. You know, we paid what, £89 million for Paul Pogba, of course, as well. But he has basically classified Real Madrid as a dream club, as he did currently say, Paul Pogba. So I think he is interested in going to Real Madrid this summer. But you know, Juventus are linked, Barcelona are linked, of course, as well. But obviously, you know, we paid £89 million to him. You know, we have been getting the best out of him since Solskjaer's come in. Obviously, when Jose Mourinho was here, you know, last year, of course, well, he was linked with a move away from Manchester United. As I did say, if Mourinho would have still been here now, Paul Pogba, you know, potentially, you know, would have left of course, as well, because obviously Paul Pogba had a bad relationship with Jose Mourinho, of course, as well. But we've been getting the best out of him since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, and he did basically say as well, it's everyone's dream. I think Pogba said it's everyone's dream, you know, playing for Real Madrid, you know, at some point in their career, and this is what, you know, Paul Pogba has currently said. So I think he's keen on making the move to Real Madrid, you know, to be quite honest with you as well. But reports have been coming out from Spain that reportedly he's decided on his Manchester United future, and that he does want to leave Manchester United this summer. I think he's 25, 26, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, you know, of course, to be quite honest with you as well. But Raiola's in the process of finding, you know, Paul Pogba a new club. But the teams that have been linked is Barcelona, Juventus. There's been talks about him potentially making a return to Juventus and Real Madrid. But I think Real Madrid are the front runners, you know, to get you know, Paul Pogba this summer, because obviously, you know, Zinedine Zidane's obviously planning for the investment this summer. He's just not too long ago being reappointed Real Madrid manager. This is his second spell now in charge of Real Madrid. Is Zinedine Zidane. He's signed a contract till 2022 after initially before he was managerless for 10 months, of course, as well. The only manager to win back-to-back Champions League titles as well. And obviously, you know, Zinedine Zidane, you know, would be keen on bringing Paul Pogba this summer, because I think think Zinedine Zidane actually told Real Madrid, to try and open up negotiations, with Paul Pogba's agent, and I think Zinedine Zidane, would like Paul Pogba to go to Real Madrid this summer, of course, as well. But obviously Zinedine Zidane's planning for investment. Reports do say, he's going to get around £300 million spending speed spend this summer, and this is what Florentino Perez is going to give him as well, because these players that are probably going to leave Real Madrid this summer, probably Bale's going to leave this summer. There's been rumours that potentially, possibly Rafael Varane could leave this summer as well. But he's identified quite a few targets as Zinedine Zidane in the process. But he's obviously come out as Paul Pogba, and he's basically classified Real Madrid as a dream club, but he insists he's still happy at Manchester United, for the time being. But I think his agent Riley Early is in the process of finding Paul Pogba a new club as well. Finding Paul Pogba a new club as well. Paul Pogba, don't forget, is still under contract here until 2021, of course, well. So in the process, we want to try and get Paul Pogba, to sign a new contract at Manchester United as well. He's still got 2 years left on his current deal as well. So there has been a lot of rumours, going on about that later. But the comments he said in relation to Real Madrid, he's just obviously planning, that he does want to make the move to Real Madrid at some point in his career. But I think it probably will happen in the summer, because Real Madrid, are the favourites to actually, go on and sign him, of course, as well. So there has been reports going on about that as well. The other transfer rumours I've been keeping you guys up to date on as well is in relation to Jadon Sancho, Borussia Dortmund Jadon Sancho, one of England's youngest upcoming talents as well. Manchester United being heavily linked to him, of course, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say basically that he's not interested in buying any defenders this summer. His priority is to recommend the right winner to come to Manchester United this summer as well. So I think it's Man United's priority to get a right winner. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority as well, because he wants to give our current defenders, a chance, a second chance to impress, improve themselves, and all that as well. So we know Jadon Sancho, of course, anyway, is a winger, of course, as well. And I think Jadon Sancho is the solution to Manchester United's problems, to be quite honest with you as well. We do know he's going to cost us, staggering amounts of money, but as I did say, we've got the financial power to meet his valuation, Jadon Sancho's, because obviously, we didn't invest in January, of course, as well. So obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, of course, as well, and obviously looking to buy into our history. So it is essential that we get the right players to come in the summer, so we can, potentially, be challenging for the title next season as well. But Jadon Sancho would be fantastic indeed. He's also attracted interest, from PSG, and he's attracted interest from quite a few teams across Europe as well, because his performances for Borussia Dortmund have been absolutely fantastic indeed, of Jadon Sancho's, of course, as well. Obviously, it's come out in the press saying that, our interest in Jadon Sancho is completely irrelevant, from Borussia Dortmund's perspective, and this is what Dortmund have currently said. Obviously, he's a former Manchester City player as well, where he did serve a couple of years, but he never broke into the first team with City. He was never guaranteed to get regular first team football, and this is the main reason he departed Manchester City and went to Borussia Dortmund, of course. Well, he actually began his youth career with Watford, did Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. He's still got a contract with Dortmund, don't forget, till 2022 as well, but Borussia Dortmund only paid an initial £8 million for him from Manchester City, so financially, Borussia Dortmund, would, make a huge profit on the player, if they were to sell him in the summer. Obviously, I think it did say Borussia Dortmund were demanding, they wanted around £100 million for Jadon Sancho, but I think now they've ruled out selling, Jadon Sancho. But if Man United were prepared to pay up to £100 million, potentially, this would probably convince Dortmund to sanction him off, even though it did say Man United officials have been, in contact, with Jadon Sancho's representatives regarding the £70 million summer transfer move as well. But it did say Man United believe we can land him for around £80 million, of course, as well. But if we were to offer £100 million in the summer, this would probably convince, Borussia Dortmund to sanction him off. Recent reports did say he was interested in making the move to England. It did say PSG have been interested in him as well, but he may be interested in making the move to Manchester United. But he's been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years, and his performances have been fantastic indeed. Just recently turned 19 years of age as well, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him as Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. But I think Solskjaer is keen on bringing him in, and Borussia Dortmund have been known for doing business, with the players. They have done business with the players, and obviously, I think City have got a buyback option on the player. So if Man United were to come to an agreement to get him in the summer, of course, Manchester City would reportedly receive around 15% of the transfer fee, reportedly as well, as reports do currently mention. So reportedly, Manchester United have been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho, and I think he complement our attacking line very well. And he's still young, and he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest here as well. But Manchester United have been heavily linked to him. Only broke into England first team last year as well, did Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. So Manchester United are chasing Jadon Sancho, and he is the upcoming future, without a shadow of a doubt. Indeed, he's got immense talent. So there has been a lot of talks, going on about at least for a month now. I've been hearing the rumours, about that going on, of course, as well. Obviously, we know there's been rumours, going on, as I've updated you, about Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. The Chelsea wonder kid, only 18 years of age, of course, as well. Obviously, he's England's youngest upcoming prospect as well. He's Callum Hudson-Odoi, only still very, very young, only 18 years of age, of course, as well. He's Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's reportedly said that Manchester United said, I think a couple of days ago in the press, that Man United have reportedly, entered the race for Callum Hudson-Odoi, reportedly. Obviously, back in the January transfer window, Bayern Munich were actually on the verge of securing signing Callum Hudson-Odoi. Bayern Munich were on the verge of signing Callum Hudson-Odoi, back in January. Bayern Munich, it was obviously Bayern Munich's top priority back in the January transfer window. Bayern Munich, I think, had a host of bids turned down from Chelsea, for Callum Hudson-Odoi, because obviously Chelsea were reluctant to let him leave back in January. Chelsea weren't willing to let him leave, so they were being ruthless with Chelsea. But I think he did put a transfer request in back in January, did Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. But Chelsea weren't willing to let him leave. But Bayern Munich, I think, are going to revive their interest this summer. But it was Bayern Munich's top priority, back in the January window as well. But Bayern Munich are looking to get some young players in their team, that could grow, develop, and mold, because they have got quite a host of aging up players, to be quite honest with you, as well. But Bayern Munich failed, to get Callum Hudson-Odoi, in the January transfer window. But now reports say Man United have entered the race, of course, because he can play as a winger. He can also operate as a forward as well. But reports do say that Liverpool have also expressed an interest. Borussia Dortmund have also expressed an interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi as well, because obviously, he has strong reservations about his game time with Chelsea, because obviously he hasn't started a game in the Premier League this season. He has been playing actually quite regularly, in cup competitions, like the Europa League and stuff like that. He's been in really, really good form in other competitions, but he hasn't started a game in the Premier League this season as Callum Hudson-Odoi. He is still under contract with Chelsea till 2020. Chelsea have been in the process, of trying to get him a new contract term, of course, as well, Callum Hudson-Odoi. But in the process, it has indicated that he's nowhere near close to securing a new deal with Chelsea as well. He's Callum Hudson-Odoi. But there's a few teams that have expressed their interest. Bayern Munich are likely going to revive their interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi this summer, of course. But I don't think Chelsea will want to let him leave, especially now that Chelsea have got this transfer ban. They have appealed against the decision, but Chelsea won't want to see any players leave in the summer, because obviously, they've got a transfer ban. They can't make any signings in the summer. They can't make any signings in the next January window. So they can't do any transfer activity until the summer of 2020 as well. But reportedly, Manchester United have joined the race for Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. So his name has been mentioned in the media. And Solskjaer's monitored an interest in quite a few, winners, to be quite honest with you. We do know that Man United have been linked, with that Joe Felix, to be quite honest with you, as well. That Benfica youngster, only 19 years of age, and I have been updating you about him on a regular basis. And Manchester United have held negotiation with Benfica over a possible move, for Joe Felix. I think his buyout clause is around £105 million or something like that. Is Joe Felix as well. So he will cost staggering amounts of money, to get him in the summer. He hasn't been a priority target, but Man United have showed an interest. Man United have instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player. Man United scouts have been watching him regularly, because he has been in good form for Benfica this season. He broke into the first team, don't forget, last year as well, did Joe Felix, and he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal as well. But as I did say, he only broke into Benfica first team last year. He's mainly a winner. He can play in other positions as well, so he is versatile. But other teams have expressed their interest. I think Chelsea have had an interest. Liverpool have had an interest in Joe Felix as well. I think Liverpool had the £61 million bid turned down for him, back in the January transfer window as well. So there's been quite a few winners, Manchester United being interested, because Solskjaer is focusing on attacking additions to the squad, of course, well. But it is essential that Man United, do basically, get that, Champions League for next season. Of course, if we do want to get the players, at the highest level, of course, as well, because Champions League football for next season is very, very essential. We either win the Champions League this season, which is going to be very difficult to do, or, if we don't win the Champions League, try and finish in the top four as well. Our top five ambitions are definitely, still alive, because, there's quite a few teams, going for that top four as well. And there's still quite a few games to go yet, to be quite honest with you, as well. We are going to get around £200 million to spend this summer, of course, as well. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is actually, on the verge of getting the Manchester United job. There's reports coming out saying that, Solskjaer could, be handed the Manchester United job permanently this week as well. He did currently say Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is set for permanent contract negotiations. This means Solskjaer's agent is set to discuss with Ed Woodward, about, giving Solskjaer a permanent contract at Manchester United as well. We don't have to pay a compensation package of around £7-8 million, to mould, to give him the job on a full-time basis, of course, as well. But obviously, Solskjaer is planning, he's been discussing about the club's summer transfer plans, of course, as well. So he's already planning, to make moves in the summer. He's only going to Solskjaer, of course, as well. And he has been in discussions with Manchester United board, what players should stay and what players, should go in the summer. And I think he's indicated, he knows what players, are going to leave Manchester United in the summer, because I think he's actually, told Ed Woodward, as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he wants to get rid of Valencia, he wants to get rid of Rojo, and he wants to get rid of Alexis Sanchez, of course, as well. But I think he wants around 4 signings this summer, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as well. Obviously, if he is to get the job on a full-time basis, Solskjaer will probably, he'll plan that he'll want a long tenure as Manchester United manager, of course, as well, because he hasn't really experienced a long tenure as manager at the moment, because obviously he had 2 separate spells with Mould. He only had a short tenure with Cardiff, of course, as well. He managed the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years, as well. So he'll think probably ahead of the next 5 10 years, or something like that as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so he'll plan for a long tenure if he gets the Manchester United job on a full-time basis, of course. Well, he had a long tenure as a player. He had a great 11 years as a player. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, won loads of trophies, scored loads and loads of goals, and he flourished under Alex Ferguson for 11 years as well. But he's definitely the right man for Manchester United. We've been getting positive results. The performances have been mainly very, very good as well. But despite the back-to-back defeats we've suffered before this international break, I still think he's done more than enough, to deserve the job on a full-time basis as Solskjaer as well. And he's getting the best out of these players. He's following Alex Ferguson's philosophy, which is very, very good indeed. But we know players are going to leave Manchester United this summer, without a shadow of a doubt. And Manchester United now have culled their interest in Mauricio Pochettino, even though there were reports coming out, was it last week or a couple of weeks back, saying, as he updated you actually, saying that Man United are still looking at the possibility of Pochettino. Ed Woodward still may want to recommend Pochettino to come in as well. But for me, I wouldn't want Pochettino to come to Manchester United, of course. Well, I know Solskjaer at the moment hasn't got a great managerial pedigree in terms of like winning any major honours and all that, but I think that is to come, without a shadow of a doubt. Indeed, we've just got to make sure that we get the right players to come to Manchester United this summer, of course. And don't forget, we've had a lot of injuries as well, so we have done really, really well indeed. So Solskjaer definitely the right man for Manchester United, and I think he's set to be Manchester United manager permanently this week. So he said it could happen, or it could happen maybe in the next couple of days, but I think it'll be sometime this week, to be quite honest with you, as well. And obviously, we do know, guys, that there's still some contract renewals to sort out as I've updated you, and I'll give you the update on Herrera, of course. Obviously, somewhere online, want to come to an agreement, to get Marcus Rashford a new contract at Manchester United as well. Reports were coming out the other day saying that reportedly Man United have been in talks over getting Marcus Rashford a new 5-year deal at the club as well. Reportedly, they've said if talks do continue to drag on, reportedly Manchester United, will trigger a 12-month extension on his contract something like that as well. But he's been a very, very consistent player for Manchester United, still very, very young indeed. And I just don't think he's been playing to his potential best, since he's recovered from that ankle injury, to be quite honest with you, that he did currently sustain, was it against Liverpool back in February as well. He hasn't been the same player, because usually he's like lightning, he can get them runs in behind him and all that kind of Marcus Rashford. And he has been a United player since the age of 7, he's been in the senior squad with Manchester United since 2016 as well. So since he broke into the first team in 2016, his performances have been unbelievable. But since Solskjaer's come in, his performances overall have been fantastic. He looks very, very effective, when he's playing centrally as well. So hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement to get Rashford a new contract at Manchester United as well. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement to get David De Gea a new contract as well, because so far in the process, we haven't come to an agreement as yet to give David De Gea a new contract at Manchester United. David De Gea has been here a number of years now. This is what his 7th, 8th season now as a Manchester United player. Of course, it did say Real Madrid are set to revive their interest in David De Gea now that Zinedine Zidane's been reappointed, and Zinedine Zidane admires, David De Gea, and we do know that Real Madrid have been long admirers of David De Gea, to be quite honest with you as well. There were talks that, they could sanction Courtois off, to fund the move for David De Gea, because Madrid got Courtois last summer from Chelsea as well. But I think David De Gea still wants to remain loyal at Manchester United. I think he wants to commit his long-term future at Manchester United, because Manchester United have been in talks of getting him a new, £350,000 a week deal. Reports did say before that he was demanding that he wanted to be the highest paid player alongside Alexis Sanchez at the club as well. So I think he was demanding in terms of wages of around £400,000 a week. At one point in Manchester United, were reluctant, to pay that of course as well. But since he's potentially the best goalkeeper in the world. He's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions. He's won the club's player of the year 4 out of 5 seasons. He's won everything here domestically as well as David De Gea. So hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract as well. And other transfer rumours, guys, I've obviously, been updating you on as well, because obviously we know Manchester United, do need a centre-back, we need an experienced centre-back, we need a world-class centre-back, of course, as well, and we do need someone, that can partner alongside Victor Lindelof, of course, as well, and we know the number one target, is obviously, being Napoli's Koulibaly. As I did update you guys, reportedly, Napoli, Manchester United have been informed that Napoli, if they are willing to do any business this summer, they are demanding that they want around at least £130 million for Koulibaly as well. And so I think the Napoli president himself has confirmed, the Napoli board and all that, they're demanding that they want around at least £130 million if Napoli are willing to do any business this summer. So if Manchester United were to come to an agreement to get Koulibaly this summer, obviously that would make him our most expensive signing, of course, making the most expensive defender in world football, because obviously the most expensive defender at this moment in time is obviously Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk, who Liverpool paid £75 million for in January of last year. So he has been at Liverpool over a year now as Virgil van Dijk, and he's addressed their defensive deficiencies, fantastically well indeed. But we've got to address our defensive deficiencies as well. And Koulibaly will be a great addition if he was to come to Manchester United. He's 27 years of age. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him. There's been reports coming out saying that Madrid have been interested, Barca have been interested. Madrid have been interested, Barca have been interested. It's also said that Chelsea, I think, have monitored an interest in Koulibaly as well. But Man United have been long admirers of the defender. Was linked to him in January, was linked to him last summer. Obviously, Man United in January, were in negotiations. Ed Woodward was in negotiations with Napoli and all that. But Manchester United in the process back in January had 3 bids turned down, for Koulibaly. So obviously, the recent one was £95 million that Manchester United had turned down. He's obviously got a contract with Napoli till 2023 as well as Koulibaly. Napoli only paid £6-7 million for him from Genk or something like that as well. But he's been at Napoli a number of years. He's grown, developed, and flourished, fantastically well. And if he was to come to Manchester United, he would be a great leader in our back line, without a shadow of a doubt. But it's going to cost us in the excess of at least around 130 million. Maybe it could even cost us 150 million. And if we were to pay 150 million pounds for Koulibaly this summer, that would make him the third most expensive player, the third most expensive footballer in history, of course, as well. But I think they want around 130 million pounds. But we've got to address our defensive deficiencies. We need someone to go alongside Lindelof, to be honest, because we know since Smalling's recovered from injury, Solskjaer's been going with Smalling and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership, of course, as well. And obviously, to be fair, they've blended in fantastically well together, because I don't really rate Smalling, to be quite honest with you. This is 9th season now as a Manchester United player. He's made over 300 other appearances, but, to be fair, he has improved as Chris Smalling, to be quite honest with you. But with a new centre-back coming in the summer, if we do get a new centre-back in the summer, obviously, you'll probably see Marcus Rojo leave. I think Solskjaer wants to get rid of Rojo anyway, because he's enjoyed a difficult time as a Manchester United player, considering the string of injuries he's had as a Manchester United player, and he's enjoyed a difficult time. He's struggled with his fitness regime, and he's just recovered from a long-term absence, as well as Marcus Rojo. Bay could be possibly leaving as well in the summer, because he's been in the team this season. He's still got great potential, Bay, and I highly rate him, but I think he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer, to be quite honest with you, as well. But as I was saying, we need someone to go alongside Victor Lindelof in that central defensive area. But recent reports did indicate that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, I think it was earlier this month, that Solskjaer said he wasn't interested in buying any defenders. He's focusing on other areas of the squad, and he's focusing on more attacking additions to the squad. So he wants an attacking midfielder to come in. He's interested in bringing a right winger in, as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But I think the areas we need to strengthen up, we need a centre back. I think we need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious. We need someone young and ambitious on that right hand side, without a shadow of a doubt. Indeed, maybe some people may say we need a right back, but obviously we've got Diego Dalot as well, but he's obviously only young, so maybe we need someone a bit more experienced than Diego Dalot, of course, because Young obviously he's on his way out of Manchester United. He'll probably go when his 1 year contract extension expires, because by the time that expires he'll be at nearly 35 years of age. Well, Ashley Young of course as well, and he's past it now, Ashley Young. We know Valencia's on his way out obviously as well. He's going to leave in the summer, because obviously we haven't triggered that 1 year extension. He comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season as well does Valencia. So definitely investment is needed into Manchester United this summer. As I've updated there's been other defenders, as we all know, that Manchester United have been linked with as well, and we do know that obviously Harry Maguire's been a potential Manchester United target as well, as he updated you on. Reportedly now Leicester have risen their price tag up, and reportedly Leicester want in the process now of around £90 million for Harry Maguire this summer. Are Manchester United willing to pay £90 million? Because Because initially, actually, I think he was rated at around 65, 75 million pounds or something like that, was Harry Maguire. But I think Leicester have risen their price tag, to be quite honest. So I think Man United have been notified that that reportedly we will have to pay 90 million pounds for Harry Maguire this summer. And I think Harry Maguire's open to the move, to be quite honest, because obviously he maybe wants to play to the highest level, wants to go to a team that can win trophies and challenge for trophies and all that. And he hasn't experienced this at Leicester, and he's not going to experience it at Leicester, to be quite honest with you as well. So he may want to go to a big club, Harry Maguire. Manchester United are obviously capable of doubling his wages as well to around £140,000 per week or something like that as well. He's got a contract with Leicester till 2023 as Harry Maguire as well. I think Solskjaer is keen on bringing Harry Maguire to Manchester United this summer as well. So he's also been mentioned in the media as well. And there's other defenders, that Manchester United have been interesting as well. As I did update you in relation to Rafael Varane. And Rafael Varane, would be a great leader in our backline. If Manchester United, somewhere along the line, could come to an agreement to get Rafael Varane this summer. Rafael Varane's a great player. He's only 25 years of age. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. And what he's achieved has been absolutely remarkable as a player, to be quite honest with you, Rafael Varane. He's been at Real Madrid a number of years now. So he spent the majority of his career with Real Madrid. This is his 8th season now in the process with Real Madrid. He's won about, I think, in all, I think he must have won about 15 major honours, or is it 16 major honours or something like that as well. He's still got a contract with Real Madrid till 2022. He's made over 200, I think he's made over 200 other appearances in all competitions as well. Recent reports have actually come out and basically mentioned that reportedly he's told his teammates that he wants to leave Real Madrid this summer, even though he insists he's still happy at Real Madrid, because he's remained loyal to Real Madrid, for a lot of years now with Rafael Varane, of course, as well. But I think, obviously, I think he still insists he's happy at Real Madrid, but reports coming out saying that he could consider, leaving Real Madrid this summer as well. But it'd be great for Manchester United. He reads the game very, very well. He's well organised. He's good in the air. Shows that ability, that he can play out from the back as well. And, potentially he has been a Manchester United target. He has got a huge release clause in his deal, in his current deal as well. I think his release clause must be over like 400 million or something like that as well. Rafael Varane. So there has been talks about him going on as well. As I want to give you an update on that as well. And so that's mainly, transfer rumours, to keep you up to date on what's going on in the media. So as I did say, guys, at the beginning of the video in relation to Ander Herrera, reports have been coming out, as I've been updating you regularly, because we know I've been hearing it now at least for the past week, that reportedly, PSG have expressed an interest in Ander Herrera. PSG obviously have identified Ander Herrera as they've identified Herrera that he would be a good partnership with Marco Verratti, in PSG's team. Obviously now Arsenal reportedly are set to rival, PSG, for Ander Herrera. So reportedly Arsenal are planning to hijack PSG's move for Ander Herrera, reportedly as well. But I think Ander Herrera's future is up in the air, at the moment, to be quite honest. We don't know if he's going to stay. We don't know if he's going to stay or sign a new contract, or we don't know if he's going to leave on a free transfer in the summer. We're not too sure yet. But actually, Ander Herrera come out in the press, as I said, and he admitted that PSG's transfer interest is logical and all this. And this is what Ander Herrera has said. And reportedly PSG have said are willing to offer £150,000 per week plus a 3-year deal for Ander Herrera as well. But at the moment, his future is up in the air, to be quite honest with you as well. But I wouldn't want to see him go, because he's been a very, very consistent player for Manchester United, especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in as well. His performances have been really, really good. He's been playing a bigger part in the team. He's been playing more regularly as well. But now Arsenal reportedly have entered the race for Ander Herrera. I've given you the news on Paul Pogba as well. Reports have been coming out in Spain, especially today, saying that it's revealed he's made a decision on his Manchester United future. Reportedly, Paul Pogba wants to leave Manchester United, as it does mention in media reports, and reportedly Real Madrid are the favourites to get him, but it's also said that Juventus are interested, Barcelona are interested in Paul Pogba as well. But obviously what Paul Pogba's recent comments he's basically been saying, he's described Real Madrid as a dream club and all this, and he did admit playing for Zinedine Zidane at Real Madrid would be a dream for him, and he's admitted they're one of the biggest clubs in the world as well. So Paul Pogba is probably keen on making the move to Madrid this summer, but reportedly he definitely wants to leave Manchester United, and his agent Raiola, of course, as well, is obviously processing on finding Paul Pogba a new club as well. So obviously he wants to play to the highest level, of course, and he probably wants a new challenge. There's Paul Pogba, because this is his 3rd season now at Manchester United. I know we had him before, that 4 years he had with Juventus. We had him when he was obviously a youngster, Paul Pogba as well, under Alex Ferguson. But that time, obviously, he left because obviously he wasn't guaranteed to get regular game time, and obviously we actually let him go on a free transfer. Then he had 4 years at Juventus, and then Manchester United in 2016 team purchased him for £89 million, of course, as well. So potentially he's our most expensive signing, of course, as well. So Paul Pogba reportedly could leave in the summer. Initially, he was set to be the Manchester United captain next season as well, but obviously now that could be a change of scenario because Paul Pogba could be likely on his way out, according to what he's said as well. So anyway, guys, as I did say, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, guys. If you do consider subscribe to my channel, as always, and take care. God bless, guys.